Mrs. Cheney.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Yes.
Cheney.
Remarried.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So we were friends. We went out for drinks after a promotion, and everybody else left. It left us two. Had a little too much to drink. Anyway, I ended up pregnant. He's completely out of the picture. Doesn't answer text calls, whatever. All of a sudden, he comes to me and says he wants to be a part of our kid's life. And I said, okay, well, you're going to have to give me child support. I'm not just going to let you all of a sudden be dad, you know? And
how old is the child?
Welcome back to Judge Bench, where real families face real justice. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another powerful courtroom moment. Today's case, JVB 1016, the Cheney case, unfolded with raw honesty, personal pain, and a financial dilemma that many single parents will understand. Mrs. Cheney brought the case before Judge Vonda B. to seek clarity and support for her 18-month-old son. She explained that she and the child's father were once friends. After a night out celebrating a promotion, things got complicated. Drinks were involved. One thing led to another, and months later, she found herself raising a baby alone. For over a year, the father was absent. No calls, no texts, no support. Then suddenly, he returned, wanting to be part of the child's life. Mrs. Cheney didn't deny him that right. But she had a condition. If he wanted to be involved, he needed to contribute financially.
he's 18 months.
Okay.
18 months, yep.
Okay, continue.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's like, well, I can't pay child support, but I'll pay the daycare bill. Daycare is $8.55 a month. Okay. He claims he only makes $24,000 a year. That adds up to almost half his income, if that's what he actually said. I mean, this is not the way a guy who lives a life of $24,000. I mean, that suit probably costs like, I don't know, half that or something.
It is a nice suit.
I shall have clearance.
Specifically, she asked for child support. He claimed he couldn't afford it, but offered to pay for daycare. Instead, $8.55 a month. That's when the court had to step in. The father, who is self-employed, stated his income was just $24,000 a year. On paper, this would make $855 a month, a substantial part of his annual earnings, almost half, in fact. But Mrs. Cheney was skeptical. She noted the quality of his clothes and lifestyle, suggesting it didn't reflect someone living on $24,000 a year. He responded that he shops clearance and does what he can to stretch his money. Judge Vonda then asked for clarification. Did he file his own taxes? Yes. Were the numbers accurate? According to him, absolutely. He claimed he was being truthful about his income and living modestly with roommates, splitting groceries and utilities to stay afloat. With that, Judge Vonda turned back to Mrs. Cheney. What exactly was she asking for?
Okay.
I do pretty well on sales.
He shops on clearance.
Okay. I've never seen that suit at JCPenney, but all right.
Okay. So $855 a month in daycare. You say you make $24,000 a year.
$24,000 a year, that is
And
correct.
I do have his tax returns that he produced showing $24,000 a year, but you're self-employed?
That is correct.
So you did your own tax return?
I do, yes.
So is it accurate, or did you manipulate it?
If you're questioning if I'm being honest in my tax returns,
Yes.
I am being honest in my tax returns, Your Honor.
Okay, okay.
Was she looking for child support on top of the daycare payment? Or something more balanced? Mrs. Cheney admitted she didn't know. The rules of the court, she just wanted what was fair. She had been paying everything for the first 18 months. Medical bills, daycare, diapers, insurance, alone. She wanted financial partnership. The father reiterated that $855 a month already stretches him thin. He said he wants to be a part of his son's life, and he believed he was doing more than required. Legally, he was right. Based on Texas child support guidelines, 20% of his $24,000 income would come out to about $349 per month. In other words, he was voluntarily paying nearly 3 times the legally required amount. Still, Mrs. Cheney was also contributing in full, and this wasn't just about math. It was about fairness. Judge Vonda clarified that under Texas law,
Abilities would change. Would you get him on weekends? Would you get him on holidays? Things like that.
Well,
So,
we're here
because he
today.
doesn't live real close either. you know.
Well, we're here today, so let's discuss it. Like I said, he cannot pay daycare on top of child support. It just can't happen. So if you were to give him a number that's in between the 24,000 that, I mean, because when you break that down based on child support for one child, it's not a lot of money. So if you were, let's say it's about $300 in child support. If you add that to $855,
Parents cannot be ordered to pay both daycare and additional child support. They are treated as part of the same obligation, but daycare is considered a valid reason to deviate from the standard support amount, especially when it's clearly in the best interest of the child. To resolve the situation, Judge Vonda ruled that the father's current daycare payment of $855 would stand as his formal child support obligation. On top of that, he would reimburse Mrs. Cheney for the child's health insurance, which was $113 a month. That brought the total to $968 monthly. Judge Vonda made something very clear. This amount is higher than the guideline amount. Yes, but the father had already been paying it. It was reasonable to formalize it. More importantly, it ensured that the child's daycare and health needs were consistently met. And in the eyes of the court, that is what matters most. However, Judge Vonda gave the parents flexibility.
you're talking about child support in excess of $1,000. Are you asking that he pay $1,000 in child support?
I guess not exactly. I don't.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out why you're here and what you're asking me to do.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the situation with him. I don't have a law degree. I don't have a lawyer. I don't know exactly how these things work.
Okay. And I'm helping you guys as much as I can.
Yeah, so I didn't know that you couldn't do daycare and child support. And I don't know what, I've never had child support before. I have no idea. I don't know.
If they could later agree to a lower number, perhaps $750 or even $700, they could return to court and request a modification. The ruling wasn't to punish either side, but to protect the child's well-being and create financial consistency. The father voiced frustration. He felt that paying $968 monthly was excessive given his income, but Judge Vonda reminded him that he had been doing it already. Living with roommates, budgeting carefully, he had made it work. And under the law, with valid justification, the court has the discretion to deviate from the guidelines. As the hearing concluded, the lesson was clear. This wasn't just about dollars and cents. It was about commitment. Parenthood doesn't stop at biology. It requires action, responsibility, and sometimes sacrifice. Mrs. Cheney held things down alone for over a year. Now it was time for balance. So, what did we learn from the Cheney case? When one parent steps up financially while the other is out.
Do it. And daycare expenses, they are considered one of those reasons. Now, if you two, while you're here, you want to agree to a lesser amount, if you want to meet in the middle and say, let's say you decide to do $700, let's say you decide to say $750, that's what you can do. But based on what you all have been telling me, you've been paying daycare, it's $855. That would be in the best interest of the child to at least make sure that the daycare expense is covered. So, like I said, if you guys decide to come with something different, you can come back and modify that, and I'd be happy to enter in a number that you all.
The law may deviate from standard guidelines to support what's already working, especially when it benefits the child. Fairness isn't always 50-50. Sometimes it's what keeps the child stable and secure. Thank you for watching Judge Bench. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to the channel for more real cases, real families, and real decisions. Until next time, court is adjourned.